Hello. Good morning. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello? Hi. Hi, Peter. Hi, Lenny. Hello, Julia. Hi, Joanne. Ella. Dark Star, Vanilla. Okay, you guys are going too fast. Gabby. Hi, guys. Hope you guys are having a great evening, morning, wherever you guys are. Rachel, hi. Happy Valentine's to all of you guys too. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. This light is kind of in my face. Love you too, Siri. Hello, Cam. Hi. I will gladly be your guys' Valentine. Going too fast. Hi. Hello. Hi. Christine. Tafara. M. Jama. Gabby. Anna. Juliet. Hi, guys. Hello, 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 hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Do you guys want to talk about anything specific? Anything? Allison. Eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is from, I think it's the new Huda Beauty eye palette. What are you up to? I'm going live with you guys. What do you think of sustainability? I think it's a great thing. Anxiety. How's your name? Oh, this is going too fast. Sorry guys, this is my first time going live, so I don't really know what I'm doing, so please bear with me. We can talk about social anxiety, because I have like a little bit of anxiety right now. Just be yourself, you know. Things you know I'm talking about. Hello. How's life going? Life's going really well. I've been really busy with Beauty Within stuff. If you guys don't know, I'm also a host on Beauty Within. It's like a skincare lifestyle channel. That's why I have a full face of makeup. You guys never see me wearing fake eyelashes for my own channel because I don't do that for my own channel, but just so you guys know. All right, I'm gonna read through some questions. All right. Have you eaten yet? Yes, I have, Winnie. Thank you so much. I actually had dinner tonight. And I'm glad some of you guys know I'm Beauty Within. Thank you for loving my makeup, Zam Zam. Can't help but feel anxious. I purple you guys too. Ariba. How did you spend your Valentine's Day today? I worked all day. Today was like any other day where I just went to the office, did the things I needed to do, and I'm home with you guys. I honestly feel like if you love what you do to a certain extent, every day is kind of the same. Like I feel like Mother's Day, every day should be Mother's Day. Valentine's Day, every day should be Valentine's Day, where you treat yourself, where you treat your friends, where you treat, you know, your significant other if you're in a relationship. So holidays to me are just, they're like any other day. Oh my god, a lot of questions. I'm gonna try to go through all of the recommendations. K-drama recommendations, Mr. Sunshine, favorite drama of all time. I really like 大长今, and it's how you say it in Chinese. It's like a historical drama, and I really love W, really love Goblin, and Hua Yugi, the one with Lee Seung-gi. He's my favorite, and Lee Jung-suk, and I'm starting Lee Jung-suk's new drama. Okay. How's skincare going? Skincare is going great. You guys, if you guys are interested in skincare, I talk a lot about that on Beauty Within. How is it going with your spiritual practice? It could be a lot better, if I'm being honest. I've been working more than I've been doing my spiritual practice, like meditating and qigong and reading. But I'm trying to work on it. Do you ever feel lonely? I haven't for the past 4 years. And I don't think I'm starting to feel lonely these days, but I think it's like, there's this saying in Chinese, 高处不胜寒, or it's like the higher you go, the more bleak and more cold it is. And I kind of feel that way of like, the more I'm working on myself and figuring out who I am, the less, it's not like the less I can relate with other people, but it hasn't been easy finding people who are as like introspective and as grounded and has like the same values as me, I guess. But I think I've realized it's like it's part of the journey, and the more that I keep doing what I'm doing, the more people I will meet, like you guys who are watching this with me, the more I'll be able to meet people like you guys. All right, I'm just gonna pick my phone up. Reading through comments. Oh my God, how do you learn new languages? I think the best way to learn new languages is to immerse yourself in like the culture, watching the things that they watch, go there, live there. But if you can't do that, I think watching stuff in a language like shows, dramas, I think that helps a lot. How do I stick to bullet journaling or anything useful? I think if you want to stick to anything in general, you just have to like commit to yourself and being like, I want to do this, so I'm gonna do this, and then you just gotta do it. Can you speak something in Spanish? Hola, amigo. Hello. ¿Cómo está? Any tips for young kids in high school? Any specific tips you're looking for high school? Hola. Where'd you get your blazer? The blazer I got and this cardigan, they're both from Yes Style. I've been getting a lot of clothes from Yes Style. What about... Okay, let me... Sorry, I'm reading through some comments. Would you ever move back to LA? Yes, I think I'm gonna end up in LA, but for now, while I'm in my, I was like youth, my late 20s, I want to, I think New York's the best place to be. Okay. I miss boba too. I'm moving to Mesa. I would be my son employment. What are some of your... Have you ever dealt with social anxiety? Okay, let me actually give you guys a real answer to social anxiety. I feel like in the beginning I was like, social anxiety, and then I like couldn't talk anymore because I had anxiety, or like, not really, but then I was like, I don't know, whatever. I think the moment you realize that everyone has a certain degree of social anxiety, it makes things a lot easier, because you realize that the people who are very comfortable or very confident, I wouldn't say it's a facade, but I feel like it took them a lot for them to get there, or like it took them a lot for them to be comfortable with themselves. So the more we learn to be comfortable with who we are, and the more we accept ourselves for who we are, and the more we forgive ourselves that we're human and it's okay to feel, and that we're gonna be awkward sometimes, and that's okay, and we can, you know, make a joke out of it, or we can laugh at ourselves a little more. I think that is what helps me a lot. Okay. How to get better at speaking in front of a camera or people? I think speaking in front of the camera is so much easier, because I've actually been thinking about this a lot. Like me making videos every week, I speak to a camera and you guys get to see the results of that, right? So like it's very different from me being able to talk to people face to face, and I think that face-to-face element of the human connection is very important. So I will say speaking in front of the camera in the beginning is very awkward, but as you get more into the groove, it becomes a lot easier, to the point where it's a lot easier than talking to real people, because you can just edit yourself out, or like you can edit yourself in post-production. how to get better at talking to people in general. I think it goes back to like the social anxiety question of just the more comfortable you become with yourself, the more comfortable you'll be around other people and with other people. Yes. Hi, Juliet. My 2019 it's been really great. I'm really trying to take better care of myself. But that being said, because of life happenings and circumstances, I've been working still more than I would like. You know how like I set a goal that I would spend at least one day out of the week not doing anything. I've done that maybe like twice. I'm not proud to say that, but that's just how it's been. So I want to really commit to myself more than I have been to. Yeah, okay, I just saw a question. She has a husband. No, I do not have a husband. This is my right hand. It's left hand that you're married. Far from having a husband. All right. Where did the comments go? How do you learn to, ooh, I like this question. Okay, how to learn to adapt to your emotional fluctuations. I think it really comes down to acceptance of when you realize as humans we have feelings and we're emotional and things come and go and you feel good one moment and you don't another moment. I think the sooner we can accept that as a part of who we are and not fight it too much. I think it's like the fighting part that causes a lot of conflict. Yeah, so I think it's like acceptance. I think that's most of what I've been saying. But yeah, accepting yourself so that you don't let the things that used to get to you as much as it does now. Where is your ring from? I love the simplicity. I talked about this in my previous video. This ring is actually, I think, my parents' wedding band. They took all of their jewelry out one day to look at like what's in the, what's it called? The safety deposit box. And I took this ring and this bracelet from them and I just haven't took it off since. Tips for being more present. What a great question. It's something that I've been terrible at. I think social media is great because it allows me to connect with people, but it also makes me very not present. So tips for being present. I think just reminding yourself that it's actually very easy to like kind of ground yourself back to where you are, like breathing or like if you're holding something. I always make this example of like hold a cup of tea, focus on like the warmth of the thing, or like, I don't know, feel how cold your wall is and like, this is cold. I'm Rowena. I'm present. Have you ever had an anxiety or panic attack? I don't think I had like a full-blown anxiety and panic attack, but I used to not be able to sleep until like 3 to 4 a.m. for like months or even a year when I was in high school and college. It comes and goes. But from what I understand, if you are going through something like that, or if something like that does happen, the best thing is just to breathe and to try to ground yourself as much as possible to be present and trust yourself that things will be okay and that things will be better. Because I think like as with all things in life, it's all temporary. Feelings, anxiety, like panic attacks, like it's gonna come and it's gonna go. So I think it's like trust in the process, trust in yourself, trust in like a greater plan that everything is temporary and that you will be okay. Like if you really want to be okay, you will be okay. How do you keep a level head about the unknown of how do you keep a level head about the unknown of the future things like careers and relationships? How do you keep a level head about the unknown? I think it's hard. I think it's hard, especially in a society and a world where we are kind of expected to know exactly what we want, exactly what to do. Um, but I think going back to trusting yourself and going back to trusting a greater plan, if you believe in yourself fully and if you know you will do everything in your power to make the future happen, whatever future it is that you dream for yourself, then you should be good. It should be okay. Do you think having a style is important? I think it could be important. I think it depends on if having a style is important to you, if it's a priority for you. I know, like, dude, if you think of like tech CEOs, their lifestyle, I don't know if do you mean style like fashion style? Because if it's like fashion style, then like Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, like they didn't really have a style, but they're still like epic successful. So I don't know if fashion style is what you meant. Okay. Aw, thanks, Kira. I'm so glad I took the bite the bullet. I don't know, did this for the first time. Um, yeah, and someone asked earlier if I'm gonna do more meetups. I'm definitely gonna do a lot more meetups this year, so keep an eye out. Hi, do you follow Dan Luck? I do not. Other cities you'd like to live in? I think it's just I want to be with my family in LA. I want to be with my family in Taiwan. And I think that's about it. And I want to be here in New York because that's where things are. If like I wasn't doing the thing that I'm doing now, like YouTube and Beauty Within and being in New York, I would move to Seoul in a heartbeat. I would love to live in Paris for a bit of time. I'd love to live in Cape Town, South Africa, because I want to swim with sharks. uh, what are some things you've learned in New York City, by the way? Fellow New Yorker and saw you once on the street. Maria, if you see me on the street, you should say hi. What are some things you've learned living in New York City? What I've learned is that you can really grow to you can really grow to become the person you want to become. And sometimes cities and moving to a city can help facilitate that growth and help facilitate that manifestation of what you want. So for example, whenever I go home to LA and I come back to New York, just walking out of the Delta terminal, because I usually take Delta, I just feel like I'm Rowena, like I'm home and like I'm here and I'm the best version of myself. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, New York's taught me a lot. How to work hard, how to be humble. I think it's more about work than it is about New York, but I think New York City in general is like a beautiful place to be for, I guess, what I'm doing. How do you slow down life while still being productive? I don't know if I'm the best person to ask, but I think it's realizing that you need a balance of both. Like you can't be on all the time, you can't be working all the time, you can't be productive all the time. And I think for as much as I want to be that, and for as much as I talk about this on my channel, like you can't do that as much as I want to. But yeah, just realizing that what's that saying in Chinese? 磨刀不误砍柴工. It's like sharpening the saw will not hinder you from like chopping wood. So it's like it's important to sharpen your saw, and like we are the saw that we need to sharpen so we can do all the things we need to do. More questions. If you see how people are in the world, do you think that will grow up? If you see how people are in the world, do you think that will grow up in a bad, good way? Sorry, Jalel, I don't. Can you rephrase your question? What do you value the most about yourself in this phase about your life? I value my values, like reconnecting with my values, reconnecting with, I guess like who I am and who I've always meant to be. I feel like I'm the most grounded and at peace person I've ever been in my entire life, and I hope in the future I'll be even more so. But just compared to who I was before, kind of mentioned like anxiety. I talk about this a lot on my channel, like anxiety, was probably like depressed, had an eating disorder, and I'll make a whole video on that coming up. I'm just very happy to be where I am. I'm very happy to have gotten out of like a really dark and bad place. I think it's like reconnecting with my values and like finding what even my values are, what my principles are. That really helped me. Like, yeah. Thanks, Rebecca. I am happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you found me too. One habit that keeps you sane. Looking inward. Yes. So like whenever something happens, whenever something doesn't happen, whenever anything happens or doesn't happen, instead of trying to blame external circumstances, instead of trying to like push the blame outside, I'm just like, okay, like what is it that, like what can I learn from this, and what can I learn, like me being moved by something, me being annoyed, me being mad, me being angry, me being whatever at something, like what is this trying to show me? And instead of following my anger or following my feelings down this path of like blaming things externally, like I bring it inside to be like, what can you improve on? What is this thing trying to show you? What can you learn from this? And usually, actually I'd say like 99.9% of the time when I do that, whatever it is that I was stressing about, being angry at, whatever, it just like magically solves itself. Any tips on journaling and making a habit out of it? I'm not the best person to ask because I start so many journals, but I usually only journal when I'm really, really lost or I'm really, really like not in a good place. But I feel like if I do journal regularly, that'll help a lot. But as of this time in my life right now, I do not have time to journal regularly, but I should make time because you make time for you make time for what's most important. So I would just say, if I'm like gonna really give a tip that's helpful, carve out 5 minutes of your day, either when you wake up or before you go to bed, to just spend 5 minutes to journal and to write something. Like it doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to care about spelling or punctuation or grammar. Just like write for 5 minutes, either a couple things you're grateful for, either a little summary of what your day has been like. And then, yes, so many questions. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Books, etc. I think it's just like existing, like everything that I see, everything that I come in contact with. I try to be as observant and like as absorbent as I can with things that I come in contact with, be it people, like their mannerisms, what they talk about, how they are as a person, the books that I read, what is it about, like what can I learn from it, how do they write, blah blah blah. Like it just, I feel like it's curiosity and being curious, staying curious, being open-minded, wanting to learn, not letting your own personal notions or like thoughts hinder you from learning and getting inspiration from everyone you come in contact with, because you can you can learn something from everyone you meet if you give them a chance and if you give yourself a chance to do that. What are you grateful for today? I'm grateful for you guys. 264 of you guys who's spending your day, night, Valentine's Day, whatever with me, going live. Okay. What should be the top priority in life, in your opinion? Top priority. I think top priority should be self-care, taking care of yourself, because if you can take care of that, like your inner citadel, if you can take care of yourself, then everything else that you do, like it's gonna transition into everything else that you do. And like the goal of taking care of yourself isn't to just like, I'm gonna take care of myself and like live a good life for me. It's like, I'm gonna take care of myself so that I can be, you know, the daughter, the friend, the, you know, human in society, like all of that. What are your best tips on starting a YouTube channel? Just start. It's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lot of voices in your head. There's gonna be a lot of things that you don't know or a lot of things that you're unsure about, but just start. Go with the flow, see how things go. Just know that
Okay, I think it'll be really helpful if you know why you're creating videos to begin with. So like have a very solid why, have a very solid North Star so that if you do get swayed by feelings or by like insecurities, you can very quickly dismiss those because you're like, no, I'm doing something. Like I'm doing this for a reason. Like what is that reason? And just start and know that when you're starting a channel, your objective is to create content and to come out with content consistently, whether it be weekly or whether it be once a week or however consistently you want to focus on that. Like don't think about like personal branding and I don't know. I thought about so many things when I started, like dream brands I want to work with, all of those things. Like it's important to like think about those things, but like focus on the task at hand, which is to create videos. And if it's you, if you want to start a channel, and then do that.
Would you come to Mexico to do a meetup? If I'm ever in Mexico, I'll let you guys know. Favorite book right now or two? So the 3 books I'm reading right now, one of them is 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. I love how he writes. I love his books. I also got his new book. I'll show you guys. Be right back. Where is it? All right, so this is his new book. The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. I'm gonna read this after I read the five People You Meet in Heaven, which is in my Kindle. And then another book is Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, because I need to be a better leader in general. And the last book, if you guys, I don't really want to show you guys, but I'm just gonna show you guys because whatever, it's my channel, I'm just gonna talk because I want to. Might be a little controversial because of the author, but like, dude, it's a self-care. No, it's a personal development self-help book. It is the 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. I don't agree with everything that he's saying, but I think he's a very smart and brilliant and intellectual person, so it's worth reading to me. And I think this goes back to just like being open-minded to seeing what's out there and seeing what people have to say, because you can learn a lot from a lot of people. Are you subscribed to PewDiePie? Yes, I am. Okay. How about a podcast? I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great too, but guys, I'm already trying to figure out how to balance between this channel and that channel, Beauty Within channel. So I'm working on it and it'll come hopefully by the end of the year. When it comes to working with sponsors, what are the values you prefer to work with? I think the most important thing is that I personally need to use the thing that I'm sponsoring. If I don't like it, then I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know. For me, like I need to really believe in something, believe in a product, believe in a service, believe in like a greater mission for me to buy into it myself. And of course, I want to make sure that it's something that's relevant to you guys as well. So for example, this was like something that was pretty big in the YouTube community. I think it was called Better Brave. No, it's not Better Brave. What was that? It's that counseling app. Do you guys know? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like you can get online counseling online. No, yes, BetterHelp. So it was BetterHelp. They reached out to me. They're like, hey, we'd love to spend money and, have you do a video. But I'm just like, I don't buy into I don't want you guys to pay for a service that I can't even guarantee who you guys are talking to. So that's something that I didn't want to do. And then all the scandal came out. Not the scandal, but the whole thing came out that they're paying creators money to do things. And I think they get $25. So how do you guys like it if you are doing it? Is it helpful? I personally just didn't I wouldn't use it, so I didn't want to recommend it. So this is going back to the values and the sponsorship thing. So yeah, let me know if you guys are using it and if it's been helpful. We need a podcast, Rowena. Okay, I'll work on it. What did you pursue your career in? I went to school for business. If I'm not doing YouTube, I'd probably start my own business of some sort. I'm very fascinated by entrepreneurship, startups, technology, the intersection between technology, advertising, and media. Actually, that's what I nerd out about. That's why I'm doing this. I hope you can give us a review of the Jordan Peterson book when you've read it. Yeah, I'll for sure give you guys a review. Okay, some comments are saying you guys have been using BetterHelp and it's been helpful. So that's good. I'm glad because it will suck if it's just like a complete scam. Okay. My friend just messaged me and said I got my first bloody nose of the year because my nose bleeds a lot, guys. Like, especially during the winter. It's only the right nose. It'll bleed after I eat spicy food or very dry food like fried chicken or something. Tips on pursuing your passion while staying financially stable. I think it's very important to be realistic with your circumstances. So if you, it's like, what I'm trying to say, if you guys ever meet me in person, I'm very like, I can't talk half the time. To be like, it's important to be very realistic with your circumstances. So if you need to work a day job and then spend your nighttime or spend your weekends pursuing your passion, that's probably what's going to happen in the beginning until your passion or side project can turn into your full-time thing. Yeah. Jade, I would really love to meet you guys too. I just need to figure out my life because I feel like I haven't been able to think about anything when I'm just like always like video, video within video, Rowena video. And then like the months just go by and I'm like, it's already February. I'm curious, do you use a schedule to plan your times and the things you have to do? I have a general like Yes, I have a calendar. I use Google Calendar, and then I usually have a weekly planner or a weekly thing. I've actually been using this app called Notion. It's super cool. It's Notion, Notion, something like that. It's like if Trello, Evernote, Asana, like those productivity apps, if they all like got married and had a baby, it'll be Notion. So I've been using that to keep track of my like weekly to-dos. Are there ways for you to just de-stress when you're at work? Yeah, I think I'm very lucky and fortunate that I work with a lot of people who are exactly like me. So like half the time work actually isn't even that stressful for me. I mean it is because there's deadlines and then there's videos and there's always 10,000 things to do. But I think because I'm around people who are like me and who are like children and who just laugh at the dumbest things, it makes things a lot more it makes things a lot less stressful when you're working with a team that you feel has your back and that you have their back, and it's just like synergy, like business term, synergy. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day, Ruby. Tips on branching out and choosing a major classes, college and pricing. Tips on branching. Okay, I'm gonna read it. I don't know, I'm mumbling. Tips on branching out and choosing majors and classes. So for college advice, follow your gut, follow your heart. Like I think that's one of the best advice my mom's ever given me when I was like, Mom, what do I do with my life? She's like, what does your heart tell you? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, just like if you are interested in something, like take a few classes or take one class. If you're interested in, if you take a class and you're like, this is kind of boring, I don't think I want anything to do with it, then next semester, next quarter, do something else. And I think that's the beauty of college and that's the beauty of school and university, that you have this freedom and flexibility to experience and to explore. And you can drop into classes. You can drop into classes in the first week to be like, check out a bunch of classes and see which one you really like. And I think professors is really important. Like finding a right professor, finding someone who you believe you can learn a lot from, and finding someone who you believe will help contribute to like your growth as a person. Hi, Kelly. Happy Valentine's to you too. Hi, Kira. Hi, Kaylee. Happy Valentine's Day. What would you be doing right now if you weren't talking with this? I would be, what would I be doing? It's either between taking a shower, washing my hair,
watching drama, meditating, or being in bed.
How do you deal with stress between college and work? Do you guys think I'm in college? I'm not in college, by the way. I graduated 2014. But if you had to balance, just gotta make magic happen. How to be more confident and comfortable in my own body.
I think it goes back to self-acceptance, self-love. Like really understanding that we are unique and that we're beautiful just the way we are, and that, you know, our weight, like it shouldn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Um, I have so much to say about this topic because this is something that I struggled with so much when I was younger. So I'll make a complete video dedicated to that. But in general, I think it's self love and self acceptance. The more you learn to embrace yourself for who you are, the more you will embrace yourself for all the good and the bad. I'm not saying like, yeah, just you'll embrace yourself for like all of your flaws, not just like body, just like in general.
Okay. What should I do if I graduate next year but have no clue what I'm going to do?
You should spend this year soul searching, like epic soul searching, asking yourself the hard questions, like not being afraid of just like really getting down and dirty with asking yourself the hard questions of like, what motivates you, what drives you, what gets you up in the morning, or what could get you up in the morning. What would it mean for you to live a meaningful life? What would it mean for you to live a fulfilling life? And kind of going off of that, you will probably try a bunch of things. You'll probably start a lot of things and stop a lot of things, but the more you start, the closer it'll get you to where you need to be
or where you want to be. I have a question for you. Yes, give me questions. What are some tips for introverts to stay in touch with their friends?
Good question. That's something that I'm struggling with these days. Pretty badly. I think just, you know how like when you're in your day-to-day, you do stuff and then randomly you'll think of someone, or like you'll think of a conversation, or you'll think of a friend. In the ideal world, whenever something like this happens, I'll just text my friend. Just like, hey, thought of this, thought of you, made me laugh, or like, hey, had a dream about you, how are you doing, blah blah blah. But I'm really bad at texting. I'm good at in-person stuff, like I'm fully present when I'm in front of someone, but if anything requires a screen or a, you know, thing like a technology, I'm just like, I don't want to.
Okay. Please save this live. Yeah, I'll save all of my lives. I mean, I think from like a business perspective, the reason why I didn't do many lives is because they don't get as many views, but I don't care anymore. This purpose of this channel is to connect with you guys, so I want to connect with you guys. All right. How did you find your apartment in New York City? I found it through Street Easy. I actually really like Street Easy. It's a very they have a very, you can filter a lot of things. It's a very comprehensive and has really good UX. Have you ever had to deal with your family not being happy with / proud of your career direction? If so, how do you deal with the stress and anxiety that comes with this? So the good thing about my parents is that, or like, I know I'm very lucky that my parents have been very supportive of me and everything that I've been doing. I think the pressure came more from, I don't really think I got any pressure from my family per se, like my cousins and my aunts and my uncles. I think everyone's been very supportive, but because what I'm doing is so
different and so like not traditional. You know, I went to business school, usually do consulting or banking, or you do, you know, big company corporate stuff. um I could feel that there might have been like a, oh, like this might just be like a new thing that she's playing with, or this new idea that she wants to explore, and like maybe you'll go somewhere. But like I don't think, like, okay, great example, like my dad. Hi dad. My dad, I don't think he's here, but like he will watch this eventually. um my dad didn't start watching my videos until a few months ago. And to me, I just realized that, okay, he probably thought I was just playing with this with YouTube. So like he's like, oh, you know, I'm not going to start looking at what she's doing until she's like stable and consistent with this thing, because historically I would jump ship really quickly. I'm always trying something different. I'm always like, I start something, I give up. I start something, I give up. So that to me, when I realized, I was like, ah, dad, like he knows, he like sees me potential in me, like he knows I'm taking this seriously. um but I think overall, to answer the question that like I totally did not answer, um dealing with stress and anxiety for these things is just, you make sure, like, try to remind yourself that you're not doing this for anyone else. I know like stress from family and friends is inevitable and it's always going to be there, but if you know why you're starting something, and if you know it's for the right reasons, and if you know it's for like your future betterment, your current betterment, your self betterment in general, then just like do you.
I don't know you, just giving you advice, bro. Oh, okay. What do you do if you've become someone who your past self would judge or condone? I think you should. Mm, you should realize that, and you should make note of that. But instead of judging and condoning yourself, you should treat yourself, or like, what am I trying to say? Like, you should treat yourself with compassion. You should look at yourself from like a more compassionate and loving perspectives, to be like, hey, what happened within the past weeks, months, years? Um, why did you become, you know, who were you before? Who are you now? What changed? Are you happy with the change? If not, can you do something about it? If, you know, that kind of stuff. All right. Got it, boss lady world. Reading through comments. Random question. What is your favorite fruit? Thanks, Shannon. My favorite fruit is, actually, I love most fruits. I can eat fruits like it's nothing. Every fruit. I do not discriminate. I'm feeling so demotivated. Why, Pri? What's going on? Who, this question. Kaylee, do you consider yourself a feminist? I had a feeling someone was gonna ask. So I'm not gonna get too much into it. I believe in equality of opportunity for sure. Like, I believe women should, you know, like, yeah, I believe in equality of opportunity, but I feel like over time, the movement has turned into something else. So I'm just gonna leave it as that. Hi, Burr. Aww. Okay, very inappropriate comment. Do you like sushi? I don't really eat raw stuff, so, and I grew up vegetarian, so I feel like sushi, like raw fish, is a very acquired taste, and because I didn't grow up eating sushi, when I did eat raw stuff for a bit, like I couldn't appreciate it, and it's so expensive, so I'm like, too slimy. I have the same opinion on feminism too. Okay. Imani, I love you too. Thank you for being here. You've talked about starting and giving up on things easily. How to change that? I think you will reach a point. I think starting something and giving up easily, it happens for many reasons, right? Like maybe you do start something and you realize, okay, there's nowhere that I could go, so you stop and you start something else. I think that's fine, and I think that's a part of the journey that you have to honor. It might not be easy. People around you might be like, you're so fickle and you never commit to something, which is what I kind of was known as towards, like a few years ago before I really committed to YouTube. So I think like as part of the journey that you have to, it's like you have to walk that path for you to be able to find your thing. Same thing with like starting a business, doing a startup. You're going to pivot constantly. Like you're going to have like a good idea, but then how you get there, you're going to constantly pivot, and you're going to be constantly iterating and like changing and improving yourself, improving the things that you're doing so that you can get to where you want to go. Do you have work tomorrow? I do have work tomorrow, but it's okay. I've been sleeping around like 12 or 1 these days, and I will get rest. Don't worry, but thank you, Lenny. I feel like when I go out to like social events and I have to like, hi, I'm Rowena, so nice to meet you. That's like very tiring. But when I'm doing something like this, it's kind of energizing being, talking to you. You guys are like family. How would you describe yourself in high school? Dude, you guys. Okay, the best way to describe myself is I would hear stories of myself doing things that I didn't like, I don't even know about. Like rumors of like, oh my god, I heard Rowena went to this thing and she did this, or like she wore this thing and da 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 da. But yeah, dude, I was wild. I started partying and drinking and going to raves as a sophomore in high school. I probably had my head up my butt. I probably wasn't the nicest person. I was a really good friend to people like in my circle, but I don't think I was too nice to people in general. You have a contagious smile and laugh. Aw. Thanks, Hannah. Do you still wake up early? I've been working on trying to, but it's so hard. I have not. My work schedule currently is just like, it's so demanding that I get home like at, 10, 11, 12. Last year I would come home at like 2 or 3. So no, I haven't, but that's something that I'm working on because I feel like I'm just so much more productive when I do that. Okay. Have you ever been infatuated with a guy you don't even know? I recently have been, and it's because I feel like we would be such a good fit, same values and interests, but we're not even friends. Yeah, dude, I think I get infatuated by people pretty easily, but then I remind myself to be realistic and to be grounded because I don't know, I feel like with things, like I talked about this in my previous video, if something's meant to be to me, like it'll happen no matter what happens. Like if you want to believe in the universe or God, like it will happen. So yeah, and usually when I'm infatuated by someone or something, it's because of some sort of attachment, or because there's something that I want from him, or there's something that I want from the relationship. Shut up, Amber. Amber is my coworker and like my child at work. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry, Amber, didn't mean to tell you this. Shut up. I love you. I'm blushing. Stop. Okay. Do you have any advice for dealing with communication issues between friends? I think just being as honest and open and transparent as you can. Don't be afraid to put all of your cards out on the table, like your true feelings, for the sake of the relationship. Like I feel like sometimes we want to protect ourselves, we want to
make sure that we don't get hurt. But I think if you really appreciate your friend, if you really want to be in a relationship, regardless if it's like platonic or just like, you know, romantic, it's good to be like 100% vulnerable and 100% committed, which means like you're not gonna not do something because of like your own pride or ego or something.
I love you too, Michelle. You're welcome, Jay. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Veronica. How much longer will it be streaming tonight? You're great. Thanks, Gab. I don't know. This is pretty fun, but I don't know if it's fun for you guys. This is fun for you guys. Is there something that I can do that's more entertaining? I don't know. Please let me know. Advice for people in their early 20s. Ooh, this is really good. I've actually been thinking about this topic for a long time of advice I'd give my younger self, specifically like end of teens, early 20s. And I think the most important thing I would tell my younger self is to take the time to get to know who you are and what your values are, and don't let what other people are doing sway you into like don't let other people influence your decision and your own values and your own principles, because I feel like all around us there's always so much going on, there's always so many things happening, there's always so many different like ideas and thoughts being like pushed onto us. So really take the time to like try to like, of course, like have fun, do the things, but like, you know, try to understand who you are and what you value, and don't compromise on that. Like if you believe this thing is right that you should do and you should not do whatever, then like be true to yourself. How do I even carve a path to figure my values? I guess like what do you care about? Ask yourself what you care about. Like in your ideal world, like what are things that you what are lines that you will cross and what are lines that you won't cross? It can be things with like you know, I don't know. I think for me, like the values that I'm talking about, comparing myself to my younger self, it's like in relationships, what would I do? What would I do? In like social settings, like drinking, not drink, drugs, no drugs, you know, fashion, like what are my fashion choices? Do I want to like expose everything or do I not? It's not as black and white as that, but just like kind of giving you guys an idea of like what kind of person do you want to be. And I think a really good way to also gauge this is that I heard this term very recently on Pickup Lines. She talks about like the rocking chair experiment or the rocking chair. I don't know what it's called, the rocking chair exercise, where you imagine yourself when you're 70 or 80 in a rocking chair and you look back on your life. What would you have wanted that life to be like? And I think these are a few ways you can gauge values. Happy Valentine's Day, Nancy. April, I hate to be this person, but who's your BTS bias?
I think you guys know. I mean, I don't have this in my videos just for fun. It's, yeah. If you guys know, you know.
Can you write a book someday? I would love to listen to your advice all day long. I could. I actually, I've been encouraged to write like a self-care guide tip book. So maybe that's in my future. Oh, Amber, what? Good night, Veronica. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful night. Amy, good night. How's living in New York City? It's great. I love being here. I talked about it a little earlier, but it's where I really grew to become myself, and I just love how there's so much going on at all times, and you can just walk 2 blocks and you're somewhere completely different. And I think it fosters a lot of like spontaneity and creativity and just like inspiration when I do go out, though I usually don't go out because I'm just working all the time. Okay. How do you keep yourself from getting in your feelings too quickly with a new guy? I don't know. haven't had a new guy in a very long time. But I think it's reminding, I mean, do you, like, if you want to, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, unless you feel like there's something wrong with it, then maybe you need to be careful. But if I don't see, everyone's different, every relationship is different. Okay, any hints on upcoming videos? The video coming next week will be like it'll be like a real vlog, cleaning, tidying, getting myself together vlog. And after that, I'm not sure. I think I want to flush out that advice to my younger self video. Good night, cute chubs. Love you too, Alyssa. Hi, Kathy. Hello. Aw, Diana. Came home from the lowliest, most depressing Valentine's ever to a live stream from my favorite YouTuber. Aw, you made my day too by being here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This honestly means so much to me. Do you ever feel someone is watching you from across the street since your windows are so big? Maybe. Maybe. But I think my building is tinted, so maybe not. I usually have it down. Are there any dramas you're currently watching? I was watching Memories of the Alhambra. The ending is terrible. I heard it was terrible, so I'm not finishing it. I'm watching The Last Empress. It's so like, The Last Emperor is very like drama. Like there's so much drama. I'm watching it because I want to know what happens. It's okay. And I'm gonna start Lee Jong-suk's new drama, like Romance is a bonus, I think. There's a lot that I actually want to start. Oh yeah, Sky Castle. Yeah. Oh my god. There's so much that I want to start, but so little time. I heard so many great things about Sky Castle. How did you feel when your channel grew quickly? I watched some of your earlier videos where you didn't even know if you were making an impact, and then all of a sudden you had a large number of followers. That was how did I feel? I don't know. Like I felt like I knew it was something that could happen. So like I had it in my mind. That was, that's like the goal of why you be consistent on YouTube, because you hope that you can have a wider reach. So I knew that could happen in the future, but when it actually did happen, I was just kind of like, whoa, like what's going on? So many new eyeballs. This is so different. This is so scary. Like companies reaching out, wanting to work with me, and like all of these things happening at once. I think it was a huge test, if I'm being honest, because for someone who grew up thinking like, I don't want fame, like I don't, I'm not attached to money, I don't care if I'm this person or not. I think that growth really tested me to ask me like, do you really not care about this? Do you really not care about money? Do you really not care about fame? Do you really not care? Da, da, da. So I think now, after it was like really exciting in the beginning, it's still exciting now doing what I do, but I think over the past year, I've really reminded myself like, Rowena, why are you doing this? Why are you making videos on YouTube? It's not for you. It's not for money. It's not for like any of the things that usually comes with doing YouTube. You're doing this because you want to help your younger self, who's very lost, who's very alone, who had like, who just wasn't okay. So can you do an assumptions video? What does an assumptions video entail? Do you have any female role models? My mother. She is the best woman out there. Can you hear your neighbors? And if so, how do you get used to that? I can't. Sometimes, like when their TV is on really loud, but it's okay. Netflix recommendations. Something really I don't know if you guys will find this interesting, but I don't watch any American shows. I can't. I don't know if it's because I don't know why. It's too intense for me now. Like too much blood, too much unnecessary, like nudity. I've just turned into, I don't know. I think I've turned into like a 5-year-old. I don't know. It's too intense for me. So I just mostly watch dramas because Koreans are still more like, yeah. Yes, Katrina, I will be on Eileen Lavender's podcast soon. I'm recording something with her next week. Have you ever felt like you annoy or burden anyone? If so, how do you deal with it? Yeah, dude, I feel like I think growing up, I just like had very low self-esteem. Like I've always understood my worth, but then I would question it a lot. So it's like I would be very careful with my words. I would try to not be annoying and I would try to not, burden people. But that would just make me more annoying. And then the burdening part, even until this day, it's really hard for me to ask for help. And I don't really ask for help. I just kind of do everything on my own because I just feel like, I don't know, it's what I've done growing up and it's like I can self-sustain pretty well. But I've learned that the quote that I've been saying a lot, to go fast, go alone, to go far, go together. I know now that to go far, I need to go with people. That's why I'm on Beauty Within, the like skincare, beauty, lifestyle YouTube channel. And I'm also I'm letting more people into my life to just like be a person and to like be able to not burden, like put everything on my own shoulders. Rowena, make a podcast. Okay, everyone's telling me to make a podcast. I promise you it'll happen by the end of the year. Reading questions. How do you go about finding a mentor to further your career? LinkedIn. I think if you have an industry that you want to break into, or if you're currently in an industry and you have people you look up to, or like a specific role that you want to do, send cold emails. I promise you, if you send 10, 20, at least one or two people will respond. Don't quote me on that stat, but I feel like it's just when you put yourself out there and if you really craft like a genuine email or a message on LinkedIn, you will surprise yourself with the response that you get. Have you dealt with quarter life crisis? I think I've been going through yes, I guess yes. That's when I think my quarter life crisis came a little earlier. But yeah, that was when I was like, what is my life purpose? What is meaning? What does it mean to live a fulfilling life? And then it's what you guys see these days, like my channel, everything. It's what this is. All right, do you guys want me to still keep going? Do you want me to not? It's 30 an hour. Is this exciting? Is this fun? Aww. Jamie Lynn, thank you so much. Aww, I want to give you a hug. You're so sweet. Thank you so much for being here. Honestly, thank you every single one of you guys for being here, for spending your time with me, not just today, throughout these past couple of years, regardless when you started watching me, because dude, if you are not here, then I won't be able to do me, and like do the things that I do. And yeah, I appreciate you guys a lot. And you guys are what I'm grateful for every day. Like whenever I start doubting myself, whenever I start feeling disconnected, because like honestly, like at the end of the day, even now, right? Like you guys, like I'm going live, you guys are live chatting, you guys are giving me questions, but like it's like words on a screen. And like sometimes to me that like I want to bridge this year. Like I want to meet you guys in person. I did one meetup in Taiwan. It was really great. Am I wearing mascara? No, I'm wearing fake eyelashes. Yeah, I want to do more meetups to meet you guys in person because it's a lot more meaningful. How do you take your coffee? I don't drink coffee. I can't drink coffee. I get jitters for days and it actually makes me tired. Unless I'm really exhausted, then I can drink coffee. And I would just do latte. Whole milk, oat milk. Aw, thank you, Chloe. I want to meet you too, Ruby. Jade, if I ever make it to Canada, I'll let you guys know. Shelly, I will do one this year. I promise. It's coming. Thank you so much, Emily. Ran, how did you get started on YouTube? Were you introverted in the beginning? How did you start on YouTube? I just started making videos. I think I had a very solid reason for why I wanted to start. I wasn't happy with the current landscape and the current things happening in the social media sphere. I feel like people were just like showcasing the best of their lives, which I think is good and which I think is needed. But I feel like there's a very apparent lack in just like, hi, I'm gonna talk about my feelings and I don't feel good. Like it's normal and it's part of life. So I think like that helped me start and that helped me overcome my shy and introvertedness because I felt like someone had to do it, and because no one was doing it, I was like, I'll do it. I'll put my feelings aside and just do it. Thanks, Hannah. Is this live? Could I get banned? Why would she get the ban? I think it was marked as spam. Bye, Ryan. College is a whirlwind. How is something? Got you. Thank you for being here. Bye, Michelle. What program do you use for editing your videos? Final Cut Pro. How do you know you are growing self-improving when it's not qualifiable? I think it's like I hate to say this, but like for me, it's a feeling, right? Like you can use your emotional state as a gauge for how well you're doing. If I'm doing well, then when something pops up, I'm like, okay, it's here. And I'm very calm and grounded and like rational when I deal with it. But if I'm not in a good mental state, if something comes up, I'm or like if my mom's like, Rowena, I'm like, why are you yelling my name? Da, 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 da. Then like that to me is like, okay, you need to chill out. You need to just like breathe and look within and figure out why you got so angry or why you got so moved. So yeah, I think it's very, it takes like you need to be very very self-aware and very very critical of yourself. Not being like self-critical and putting yourself down, but you need to like know yourself well enough and be very willing to be very honest with yourself. Is this live going to be here afterwards? I want to see it with calm. Yes, I'm gonna leave this on. My Myers-Briggs is INFJ, and the INE are borderline IE and borderline TF, but I'm a solid N and a solid J. Okay, someone asked, does Falun Dafa ever feel low-key culty to you? I think the doctrines make sense, but also kind of sus. I think a lot of things can be taken out of context, like a lot of things that the people, like quotes that people commented in the comment section in my spiritual video, those are all taken out of context, if I'm being completely honest. The reason why it's not culty to me is because no one's telling you to do anything. Everything that I'm doing, everything that cultivators of this practice are doing is based off of their own free will. There's no dogma. Like you're not gonna, like if you do something, if you don't do something, if you practice, if you start practicing, like that's all on you. And I think that's why to me it's like if you want to believe in it, it's like how much do you want to believe in it? And if you don't want to believe in it, like then you don't believe in it. So like, yeah. If anything, it's like, I mean, I talk about this all the time. It literally saved me. Like for me to say like spirituality saved my life, it might be such a cliche thing, but if I don't have that right now and if I'm doing YouTube, I would destroy myself. Like legit, I would self-implode. I would hurt myself because something that comes with being on YouTube, like fame, you get exposure and then there's money and there's all these things, there's temptations, there's like all these things that could hurt you very badly. Okay. How do you feel when people misinterpret your feelings or when things come off the wrong way without you meaning it? I feel hurt. I actually feel like I think being understood is a really big attachment of mine that I've been trying to work on. I think I used to be very defensive. I can still be pretty defensive these days when like the right buttons are pushed. But I'm learning that when someone misinterprets me or when someone misunderstands me, it's mostly because there's a lack of communication. And if I can work on that communication, then I can work on it being better. Good night, Lady Miori. All right, I think I'm going to end this soon because it's been an hour and 10 minutes. I don't know if I want to watch this. Do you guys have any ending remarks, ending questions? I think I'm wearing like very cheapo eyelashes from Korea. Yeah, if I can find the link, I'll link it down below. Good night, Ivy. How do you deal with authenticity, staying authentic? Don't be afraid of being who you are. Be unabashedly you and own you. Don't allow other people's, like, don't dance to other people's music. What my mom tells me all the time. Oops. I just accidentally added someone as a moderator, but it's okay. Good night, Alicia. Okay. Okay. Amber, I will dance. I'll gladly dance to your music anytime. You're still here. 要睡觉了，明天早上8点到公司 ，OK？ OK。晚安 Good night. I'm being serious, Amber. Get to work at 8. Thoughts on New York versus Los Angeles? New York is a great place to be. I love that people don't care about you, and that's why sometimes they may seem like they're mean. I feel like people in LA, because it is entertainment capital, they're a lot more like shallow and care a lot more about just people are in your business more. But I do love LA. The weather's really nice and my family's there. All right, good night, guys. I think I'm gonna go. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I suddenly so shy. I don't know what to say. Yeah, thank you guys so much for spending your night, day, afternoon with me. I really do love you guys a lot and appreciate every single one of you guys, especially those who are here right now and those who are going to be watching. Leave me any comments in the video once it's done, and I will do my best to respond to all of them tomorrow. Good night. Bye, Kelly. Bye, April. Later, Mike, Connie, Paulina, everybody.